Sup, Streaks? I'm Artis, and I want more black representation. Oh, but I'm not alone. With me is Otaku Loaf, and we're gonna go over some general good and bad black representation in cartoons and anime. See Toonerific Tyreek's video for greater context. To me, good black representation is just letting a nigga exist in a story where their main struggle doesn't revolve around them being black or portraying them as stereotypes. Rather, they're an interesting and compelling character who just so happens to be black. A shining example of this is Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse and Craig Williams from Craig of the Creek. In an alternate universe, Miles gets bit by a genetically modified spider and has to take up the mantle of Spider-Man. He deals with your usual high school shenanigans, parents, crushes, saving New York from crime lords, the huge. He just happens to be black, more specifically Afro-Latino. Casually speaking Spanish, sharing his love of graffiti and hip-hop. We all know why Into the Spider-Verse is a great movie, as every YouTuber has shown. But to put it simply, it's a coming-of-age story about Miles Morales, who is an intelligent but awkward teenager. Miles' race is never questioned or used as a punchline in the movie. It just exists. And he's treated like any other kid with superpowers, just like Craig, minus the powers. Craig of the Creek is the most diverse cartoon I've seen in a long while, and showcases a healthy and loving black family with two parents. Okay, though the show was created by two white men, they were aware enough to hire a black lead writer and voice talent. It feels more authentic when I see stories of the parents bonding with their kids, or the whole Williams family acting out during Thanksgiving. You see those black mannerisms come to life, and if you're black, you can relate. Okay, I don't know much about Jojo. Yeah, I've heard it all before. But I'm familiar with the Sister Crone controversy, and I personally don't see her portrayal as racist. Sure, they don't do sis no favors with that hairdo. Yikes. But The Promised Neverland is a horror manga and anime, right? Just look at these angles. Plus, her blackness is never drawn into question, nor is it a center of attention. She had a difficult upbringing in this world, had aspirations in becoming a mother, and again, just happens to be black. But if Loaf and other black folks find Sister Crone's portrayal offensive, they're entitled to. And just because I wasn't offended, it shouldn't invalidate those who were.
Hello, my lovely loafs. It's me, Otaku Loaf. So let's get right into this. So adding to what Artis said, not all of us agree on what is and isn't racist in media. Now, I personally don't agree with the usage of the N-word, but then again, I don't go out of my way to target people who do say the N-word, because it's not my business. Now, back to my point, I personally believe that Sister Crone is racist in her depiction in the Promised Neverland anime, as being evil and just plain old unpleasant. Now, yes, she is a villain, and you could argue that Isabel is depicted the same way, but might I refer you to the mammy caricature? It's a stereotype for black women during the slavery era that depicted them as being weird and somewhat creepy mother figures with overblown hair and a scarf covering their head, with big lips and all that, and just having narrow eyes, which is kind of weird. So yeah, that's a common stereotype for black people in general, having big lips and overblown body proportions. So yeah, I do think Sister Crone is racist.
Wow! Two black people disagreeing on what is or isn't racist? It's almost as if we ain't a monolith and can't speak for each other, but rather our own personal experiences? Head ass.
Okay, so a good example of black representation in anime is Muhammad Avdol from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think he's a good figure for black representation in anime because of the fact that nobody really cares that he's black. They just treat him normally and as a person, as they should. Sometimes people forget that good representation doesn't just mean putting people on a pedestal. It also means that they should just treat them as normal people. And that's what they do in JoJo's. He gets to participate in the plot just as much as every other character. And minor spoilers for JoJo's, despite him dying, he still gets active plot participation and active screen time just like every other character. So yeah, I do think he's a good example for black representation in anime. So yeah. That's gonna do it for my section. Thanks so much for Artis for hosting me on her channel. So yeah, thank you. Bye.
Also, I want to acknowledge Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. a great Netflix show with heart and an all-black cast. I hope to see less token black, male nerdy best friends, and the shoving of a generic white kid in an already such a diverse trio. So how do we get more black representation in media? Simple. Show support to the ones that we have so far. Buy Spider-Verse on DVD, watch Greg of the Creek on HBO Max, and purchase merchandise of dark-skinned characters. Because, unfortunately, money talks. I want to thank Otaku Loaf for joining me on this collab. It's been fun. Y'all be sure to show his channel some love. Link in the description and in the pinned comment. There's a bright future ahead of him. You gotta support fellow small black YouTubers, of course.